Welcome to the Record Machine Show podcast. And now, here's your host, James Michael Hollenstein.
Today we have an exciting show prepared for you. Jeremy Edmond will be joining me for an interview. Jeremy is a talented singer-songwriter, radio host, and storyteller who is passionate about creating music that truly resonates. He is a 2025 ISSA Award Finalist in 7 categories. By blending heartfelt lyrics with rich melodies, his sound is inspired by personal experiences, classic influences, and the ever-evolving journey of life. In addition to his music career, Jeremy is building a background in radio where he shares his love for music history and pop culture with his listeners. Now he's taking his storytelling to new heights by working on a novel that weaves together fantasy and the raw emotions of a musician's struggles. But before we dive into the interview, let's take a moment to enjoy one of his tracks. This one's titled City Walk.
I love the twists and turns, the rope tangles behind. As we push towards the show, I hear those speakers in line. You poison me with pictures as I fall and now my wrist hurts. I'm in love with your passion, but at least you leave me asking. The city walk's got me clanked on this roller coaster, babe. Side. Does it mean to us all? Starting to hate the game, I just who's to blame. At least I calm myself down, become up and maintained. You rocketed my emotions, now it's time to fall back down. I'm entranced by your eyes now, but at least you left me a fool. City walks got me clanked on this roller coaster lately, baby. Life gets harder when you're alone on the inside, but I hope I make it through the day. I'll be on your side, baby. Let's make it all just count. Well, this mountain will splash with thunder and less. Maybe it's time to head up back to space and win this race again. Unless it be wasted on the lost in this place. Lost in this place. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Where is the time lately?
You just listened to City Walk by Jeremy Edmond, and I have him on the line for an interview. Jeremy, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. It's a beautiful day here in North Myrtle Beach. Where are you at today?
Connecticut. I'm in at my house, and it's actually really nice here too in Prospect, Connecticut. So it's real nice.
Nice. Is that where you were born and raised, or you just moved there recently?
Yeah, I was born in Naugatuck, which is a town like kind of next to this. But I've I've been here since I was like 8. So I mean, it's become like where I am now, you know.
Nice. Yeah, I grew up in New Jersey, and I lived in New Jersey for 48 years, and then I moved down here
nice.
2018 after the kids went to college. So we love it here.
Oh, it's. I've always wanted to go. My parents have been to Myrtle Beach a few times, and I'm like, I want to go. So one of these days I'm going to make it down there.
So what sparked your initial interest in music, and when did you start playing your instrument or singing?
Wow, great question. I was going to say that many great questions, by the way, that I've got to see ahead of time there. But I would say for me, it started with the Beatles. It really did. My dad, we would be sitting in the car. I was young, and he showed me music that he loved, which was the Beatles, the Byrds, the Stones. And, bear in mind, my dad's 70. So there's a reason, he grew up with such an explosion of music that I wish I could have been through,
Mm-hmm.
And so I grew to kind of love that music a lot. And then my teen years, it was My Chemical Romance and all the emo bands of the 2000s and some of the early stuff. Like I'm really into my Motion City soundtrack right now. Like their new album brings me right back to what I used to listen to by them. So, but there's like those kind of bands that really hit spark for me too. And I started writing when I was like, I want to say 16. I've flip-flopped on these things. I think 15 I started recording like just random things, but they really didn't mean anything. They were just the start of something. So 16 is when I really like kind of was like, oh, I can write. Wow. So I started writing music, and I'm more known as a writer personally than I am anything else, but I'm pretty good at guitar, and I'm gotten way better at vocals throughout the years, all self-taught.
Very cool.
So it's been really cool. Yeah.
So other than the bands that you mentioned a few moments ago, are there any other ones, maybe some indie artists that, inspire you, your music career?
It's really cool. That ISSA thing was awesome. I'm glad I got to meet you as well. Briefly, now we're actually, getting to talk more, but that whole after party thing was amazing. And actually, I want to say like Chains Over Razors and Kara Page have really been an influence on me since meeting them recently. And it's really cool. Like it shows that like in music, you can get inspired at any time from like really known artists to really indie artists too. But like Not a Surf, the Posies have always been dead nuts like for me as well. And some of these other bands and some local bands here in Connecticut like Scooped Up. They inspire me on the marketing end of things because they just don't stop. They are a local band here that need to be known worldwide. They're like a Green Day-esque band, but they're punks, but their marketing is so good. Everywhere I go in Connecticut, there's a sticker where they're scooped up. And it's like, wow, I really could learn from that. And it's just very fascinating to see. And just there's some other like really good local acts here in Connecticut that have inspired me, like William Parr, Zach Anderson, trying to remember like Matt Numa, of course. And there's like a few others that have like just have worked with that have really put kind of an inspiration on me. But Badfinger too, I want to make sure that's not local, that's England,
of course.
Back when the Beatles finished. But Badfinger I got to meet Joey Molland
nice.
My like radio days, so like huge influence before he passed. I had his phone number and everything. I just never got the guts to call, and I'm like, that's one of my biggest regrets, but also a good memory because it's like I got his number, like holy moly,
Yeah, that's a pretty cool story.
So it's been, yeah.
Awesome. Your EP, Isolated Do, is available now on Spotify, Apple Music, and also on Bandcamp. Can you share more details about it?
Sure. So we started this, we had the singles come out first. We had Searchlights, City Walk, and some of the other songs, I think, Searchlight, City Walk come out first. Those two. I just left being called Jeb. I had a project under the name Jeb. That music still exists on Bandcamp, jebsmusic.bandcamp.com. And it's called the Jeb Verse, which is kind of leads to where the book is now, which we'll get to a little later, I see on the questions there. But we started with that. I needed something new because the Jeb project for me and the co-writer got into kind of a creative dispute, and we stopped talking to each other.
Wow.
And I needed something that was my own thing. We're good now. Actually called them yesterday. We've reconnected because of the 22-track album that just dropped at random. This is the EP dropped, and then we just dropped the 22-track full-fledged concept album, which I'll get into a little later too. But we just dropped that. So like the EP hasn't even been out for like a month, and we just dropped this 22-track album. But so I wanted my own thing, and I started working with producer Michael Collins, who is the drummer for Tommy Two Tone, Gene Loves Jezebel, and Bow Wow Wow. All three of those groups at once. He's
nice.
amazing. incredible producer. He's the current drummer for those guys, and really, really cool dude. We get along. We have a lot of the same things when it comes to music. So, we might battle each other, but there's a good thing there, So I started working with him. And then he knows Fernando Perdomo, who is one of the really well-known legendary guys out in LA that isn't known at the level he should be. Mm-hmm. He's legendary within the scenes, but he's not really out there yet, and he should be. The Beatles practically know the guy. There's things that he's done for the Beatles, social media kind of people and stuff like that. And he's an incredible artist. So he's the lead guitarist on Someway, the title track on the Isolated Do EP. So we kind of got together, realized we had those 2 singles, and I wanted to get an EP out before dropping down to moving on, to a new set of singles. Mm-hmm. And I thought, let's do this thing. It was originally, the song Someway was called Isolated Do and came out as a Jeb song. I worked with Frankie Saragusa, who are in the later Posies lineup, and some other guys. And it was a great song that we wrote. Mm-hmm. I loved it. I just wanted to do my own version of it, spin it back with this new name, and bring some people to the new audience to my old stuff as well. So we brought back the EP, had this all set up, and then let me see here, lost track here. Yeah, so then we brought the team in, and Paul Chastain from Velvet Crush and Matthew Sweet fame, who's on bass and an incredible singer and an incredible bass player, he's on bass on the song too. Wow. So it was kind of a way to just how do I get these guys all in one shot on a really cool song? Well, let me get one that's already done, but we rewrite it. So it's not so brand new. They don't know how I work yet, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So we did it, and we put all the songs together because we said if this song's going to make it, then we'd rather see all the songs make it. And then we 40% of the release is going to charity. So we wanted to make it a release not just for the single. We didn't want to just have a song out, the song's going to charity. We'd rather have something that if people are going to buy it, they get more than a couple songs. So that's what kind of spawned the EP idea. And the charity is the Pasadena Educational Fund for Eaton Fire Relief, which those fires out there are brutal. Especially, everybody thinks after Live Aid, it's over. It's not. Right. There's still recovery. There's still all these efforts. So we wanted to help with that and staying in touch with those guys to make sure we have the money. It's it's here. We have it for you. So we're just waiting on a response back to send over. But very excited to be a part of that and help in any way that we can, even in a small way, even as an indie artist, not making that much, but right. enough to just do something different. So that kind of spawned the ideas. Danny Henry's on keyboards for that song too. I want to make sure I mention him. He's Drake Bell's keyboardist currently. Mm-hmm. So that's a really cool add-on to have. And he's from Connecticut, so we have a lot of connections and know people that he knows that I know. And it's just this fun story that all of a sudden it's a small world type thing. So definitely have him on the record, and he's the one that came up with the name Someway to simplify it. And so we kept the Isolated Do name for the EP. Was a better way of hey, still remembering the old song, right, but a different song. So it kind of solved my issue with copywriting and figuring out how do I release this again without confusion.
Of course. Well, so let's talk about some songs. This podcast will feature 3 of them: City Walk, Searchlights, and Someway. What's the story behind these songs?
Ooh, okay, all right. So I'll start with City Walk. All right, so City Walk, I wrote that. It was my going into my emo phase, started to write some more emo stuff and more emotionally sounding, vocals or yearning for something type song. And it's actually a story about going to Florida for the first time, my first flight by myself, going down to see my editor, who's the editor of the book as well, but also at the time, we owned a record label. So there was me, Owen, Josh, and Dave. Dave's my manager. And we all just kind of started, we were friends, all of us, from the start. And, so finally I got to go down to Florida to hang out with him in person. We all met online. None of us had met in person. And we met briefly. He came up here. We did a show together and everything. It was kind of cool. So we met everybody at once. But this was kind of the after effects. I get to go down to his house and hang out, go to Disney, all this stuff. And we saw the All American Rejects live at Hard Rock Cafe in Orlando, mm-hmm. which is in City Walk. So City Walk is right next to where they have all the parks, the Orlando parks, and all the I forget for all the rides are, but the Harry Potter stuff and all that too. Mm-hmm. And we went to City Walk, and I was blown away at how it looked like New York City in this mist of nowhere in the middle of Orlando. Right. It was really cool. So I was inspired to write a song. about that whole thing. So the bridge on that song is Disney, is the 3 main rides at the Magic Kingdom in Disney. The mountain will splash, the thunder will last, and send me back to space. So you got Space Mountain, Thunder Mountain, and the other one there.
Nice.
But yeah, so it was a lot of fun there. And then seeing the All America Rejects, and because I got to interview Nick on my radio show, Unlikely Places, which was super cool. And we got down there and we got to meet Mike, but we didn't get to meet Nick. And then we got the wraparound because those guys are known for it. And it was, usually you're pissed. You're like, oh, but I got to see a show for free. I got to hang out with my friend, and I enjoyed every moment of it. And I'm not mad. I was laughing getting the wraparound. We knew we weren't going to meet them, but I got to meet them when they came to Connecticut, which was really cool. And I have their first album signed on my wall. So, awesome. And my guitar is signed by them too. So it clearly made up for it. It's fine. But it was, at the time I was like, damn. But that kind of was fun. The studio session on that was rough. I had a hard time with the first producer that I worked with. It was just a lesson learned that sometimes you got to see where you're at with producers before you start. Mm-hmm. Like, no ill will wished or anything. It's just we had different ideas. So he's actually the slide guitarist on the record, the lap steel. He's a phenomenal player, Stephen Rogers, and he's got some history here in Connecticut too. But we just didn't see eye to eye on certain things, and I walked. So then Michael got involved. And that's Michael's been involved with the Jeb stuff for a little bit, like here and there, but he never fully produced me. So he finally took me on. And then City Walk kind of led us to Searchlights, because now here I am working with this guy from LA. I'm blown away with the talent he has, and this great drummer and great vocalist too, and knows a lot of the bands I know, because I used to do shows with Ken from the Posies and like hang out with the Posies guys. So like it was kind of really cool to have that music history kind of be repeated in a smaller way. Like Michaels did the same thing kind of thing. So it was like really cool to team up. Mm-hmm. So Searchlights was really fun. I wrote that at a diner in Bethany, Connecticut called Teddy B's. I was kind of in between jobs, like where I am actually now. It's like kind of like a repeated thing, but I was kind of in between jobs, didn't know where I was going. And I was sitting at the table, just ordered my breakfast, and I heard a guy talking to the waitress about how he just quit his job and how people don't get it. And I was like, wow, it's a small world. Sometimes if you just listen, your songs are right there. Like you could hear somebody else going through the same pain as you. Right. It's a mirror image. It's crazy. So Searchlights is written about that, like trying to find that light in the dark, that you're like lost, And it's a repeated pattern. I've noticed that in my life, that things are good for a while and then they can get bad real quick, and you have to find your way out of it. Yep. So I'm in that kind of mode now, trying to like pull myself out. But with Searchlights, it was something like that, where it was just that. I sent it to Michael. He really helped me work on my vocals. This was the first time now that he's fully taken the song. Because with City Walk, he finished it, but he didn't start it, He just took it on. And so this one, he finished. He made it, where we needed it. And he wrote some of the lyrics too. The Jagged Thoughts and the Caffeine Laughter, that second verse, that's all him. So it was really fun to write with him too. And then we got this guy on saxophone, which is the craziest story. So we're big fans of the Psychedelic Furs. Mm-hmm. And that was kind of where that song was. That's where we inspired it. And the saxophone player, Tommy Hayes, that we got is a friend of Michael's, childhood friend. Great sax player. Amazing. That's like the best part of the whole song. Hands down. And every time I play it live, it misses it, so I need to like kazoo it or something, because I'm solo here. I'm like, I need to because it needs it, And so we're on with that. And he now is actually in the band Melted, the soul band that the sax player from Psychedelic Furs left to form his own band. Mm-hmm. And he passed away, and that band wanted to continue. They took Tommy, and his trial, he probably showed him this track, which is just such a full rounded thing, because we're huge Psychedelic Furs fans. Mm-hmm. So it was like really cool to have that. And then that kind of led to Someway being like kind of a little bit of what do we do next? I mean, Searchlights was such a big hit for me. The music video got nominated for ISSA. The song got nominated for ISSA. Now I have 7 nominations because of this song. What do we do next? Like, what can we do? And that's when it was like, why don't we go back to something that I wanted people to hear that haven't heard it yet? Because the lyrics matter. And that's when Isolated Do. It's like, okay, I can rewrite this. I took a verse out of it. There was a verse about Klaatu, the band Klaatu, and the band The Posies, mm-hmm. written into the song originally. I took it out, and we just switched it over to just being that bridge that talks about, get up that ladder and stuff like that. And so we kind of reworked the song, and that's when Danny was like, why don't we call it Someway instead of, the isolated do thing, and try to figure out a way to market this. And then we realized, with the fire relief stuff, that the charity was a perfect way to tie that in, because believing in yourself and realizing that there is a way out. There always is, even when it gets hard. So Someway is, you'll find your day some way,
Nice.
And it's been a great song to work with, and I hope that more people are tuning into it now. But it's kind of funny that we had to go backwards, because we're like, well, Searchlights is too good, so how can we not Spinal Tap this thing and actually still continue a career here?
Right.
How do we do this? And so we went back, and then the next we started working on a new song called Rabbits, which is very, very new wave, Cure, the Cult-esque. It's going to be great. But we're shelving it for a minute just to get this new song out, because the book's coming out too, and so on and so forth. So it's been really great with those 3 songs, but there's much more to come, and we're excited.
Awesome. Now that we listened to the story behind the songs, let's take a moment to relax and enjoy the track Searchlights.
Faces turn around to greet ya. Man, I'm not sure if I'm glad to meet ya. Works hard, quitting's easy. Stay the course, don't get sleazy. Calls to make directly to ya. Man, I'm not sure if I'm glad to reach ya. Perps are running, nothing to lose. Stay the course, it's time to diffuse. Off in the distance, 2 searchlights, no resistance. 1 word offers assistance. Searchlight is the last line of transmittance. 3 things off in the distance, 2 searchlights, no resistance. 1 word offers assistance. Searchlight is the last line of transmittance. Jagged feelings bursting the bubble, scattered thoughts spinning me in circles. Sleepy head, caffeine and laughter. Stay the course for the heart of the matter. Faces turn around to greet ya. Man, I'm not sure if I'm glad to meet ya. Works hard, quitting is easy. Stay the course, don't get sleazy. 3 things off in the distance, 2 searchlights, no resistance. 1 word offers assistance. Searchlight is the last line of transmittance. 3 things off in the distance, 2 searchlights, no resistance. 1 word offers assistance. Searchlight is the last line of forgiveness.
What an amazing song. How do you typically start the journey of creating a new song or a musical piece?
So sometimes it's different. Depends on, I'm kind of Neil Young in this approach. So sometimes I have a spark of happen where I have to pull the car over. Like, that's my favorite Neil Young story I've ever heard, is that he had to pull the car over. But see, where he lives, he can do that. Where I am, it's busy. Like, you pull the car over, they're getting the cops called on you. Like, there's something wrong with you. So sometimes it'll come. I'm glad that we have these phone assistants that you could talk to and say, make a note, and then they make the note. So sometimes it's just a scattering of notes from different times, and I try to blend the songs together. And I'm usually always have to have a guitar on me to write and sing. It's just something I've noticed lately. But as I'm getting kind of more music knowledge and kind of separating the parts, I realized, like, okay, I could just write. Okay, let me see what I could do. So I get my structure. I have my verse, chorus structure, and I go through that. And I always tell everybody, you don't have to do the structure. A lot of people are so gun set on, like, you have to have verse, chorus. In certain genres, yeah, as I'm going into the recording academy, I'm seeing that more. Like, yeah, certain genres you have to be considered, because everybody has their formulas. You don't want to break them, but you could also, like, do other things. And, like, I love writing indie music because there is no structure. Sometimes experimental music's fun because there is no structure. But I do find myself kind of under that intro, verse, chorus, verse, then bridge, and then chorus again, and then repeat there. But I kind of tend to then put into that structure. But a lot of times it's just free versing too. Like, I'll have my guitar with me, I'll start playing chords, and I'm able to sing at random and come up with words. And a lot of times I just record on the phone with the voice memo app, and I'll be like, okay, that's a good idea, shelf it. That's a good idea, shelf it. And a lot of times, sometimes, like when I was doing the Jeb stuff, it was release. I never actually held back. A lot of people are, scared to release stuff. I was never. I was like, all right, this is another album, boom, done. Yeah, I got 60 plus releases, and it's definitely manic, but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. But now I can go back to those releases and go, ooh, okay, I know how to make that better now. So let me take that song, rename it, and rewrite it. So it's been kind of fun doing that. But yeah, a lot of times it's just get that idea and then call the producer and be like, hey, I got money. First of all, you need money. Hey, I got funds to pay you now. What can we do with this song out of the batch that I like the most?
Right.
And then he takes it on and sees what we can do, and he'll help write it a little bit better too, and kind of polish it like an editor does for a book. And then we get where we are. We pull in players from all over the place. I got connections with some bigger names in the music industry, so I always kind of tend to find ways to try to get them on a record,
right?
And see what we can do, and and go from there. So it's a lot of fun.
Awesome. A few weeks ago, you were a finalist in 7 categories at the ISSA Awards in Atlanta, Georgia. How does it feel to be nominated and then become a finalist for an award in something that you're so passionate about?
Man, I really, from the minute I sat down at that hotel, I mean, I was rushed in. So, like, the hotel travel down was like, I now know I need to attend the summit, because, like, I missed out on a lot of information I would have liked to have known. And I started laughing as I made a few friends. I was like, yeah, I should have came a day earlier. But, I had a GoFundMe. What made me, I first have to say thank you to Lucky Penny Management and all the fans that have donated. I would not have been there without them donating to get me there, which was incredible. I just never thought my music touched that many people. Like, I didn't realize, like, it meant a lot to people. So first off, I just really need to thank those folks before I even go into getting there. But it was a great adventure. Oh man, even just being in Atlanta and getting to see that. It's funny. I'm from the States, Right. It's not a drastic journey like some of these folks that took, from India, from the UK, from Spain, and all those. But it still was magical. It's like, whoa, there's stuff outside of Connecticut. Really cool. Yeah. And it was a really cool thing, to say the least. I was mesmerized, if that's the right word. I think that's right. Mesmerized by the fact that, like, if you meet somebody that you've known online, that your brain doesn't, like, pick it up as a stranger. Like, that's how attached we are to these phones, good or bad. I thought they were my friends. I'm like, oh, there's the friend I was talking to for like 10 months. And like, and it was like transitioned perfectly, which that to me, it was like, how do I, like, as a person that wants answers and like the Socrates of my day, how do I figure that out? Like, how does the brain, it was very fascinating and definitely mesmerizing there. And then the red carpet event was amazing. I mean, getting to have the experience as if I was at the Grammys is incredible.
Right.
So really, really I'm glad to be a part of this community, alongside you and many others. But I don't know. It's hard to put into words. That's how hard it is. It sounds like you're over exaggerating it, but honestly, I don't have words.
No, I know exactly what you're saying. I mean, it's like I felt like I won before I even got there.
Exactly. Oh, 100%. Getting nominated alone is the win. And I know everybody's like, well, what do you? It's like, if you're in music, being recognized for any little thing that you do is a win, because we work hard. All of us, we work hard just to get, even in radio too, you work hard just to get your voice heard. You work hard to just get those songs out there. And if somebody's recognizing it, I mean, I thought I was a winner when I got voted into the finals,
right?
Like, not even getting to go down there. And I was honored to receive, a certificate and a medal that says, "Hey, you attended and thank you."
Yeah, I saw that.
Like, whoa, I'm framing that. Like, that's incredible.
Yeah.
And I mean, and it's solidified. I mean, that's the BMI logo right there. It's like, wow. And the fact that they're now part of the Grammys is incredible, which I'm very thankful for. Amaru, who I made connections with while down there, has one of my votes into the Recording Academy. And then Fernando is my other vote from my own team. And I actually just put my application in for the Recording Academy. So I'll know in March if I'm in, helping other musicians out, which is something I really care about. But it was incredible. There is really no words.
Yeah, it was definitely fun. I enjoyed it. I got to meet a lot of the people that I've interviewed over the years, so that was pretty cool.
So cool.
Yeah,
that's got to feel really good, because like I've interviewed a lot of people, and I remember because I've interviewed big names and small names too, and getting to meet those guys in person, and they come up to you and they're like, thank you for making me heard. And it's like, you don't realize you're like a vessel. It's pretty cool, because you're just doing it because you love doing it. It's like, wow.
Right. So in addition to being a singer-songwriter, you're also a radio personality and a podcaster. Yeah. Can you share some details about your show and where we can tune into it?
Yeah, so I was on PLR for a little bit, but things have changed, and I took a step down, just mental health and stuff like that. And then I moved on to doing my own show, which I have had in the background for a while, called Unlikely Places. And you could find that, the best way to find it is Instagram, which is where we post mostly everything, but it's just Unlikely Places Radio. In addition to that, we do these mental health advocacy events at libraries. We just did one so far at my hometown library, which was really cool. I suffer with bipolar, and my two friends suffer with autism, and this is the time to really tell people we're not a joke. Like, just because we suffer doesn't mean we're counted out yet. Don't put us in the dugout. Like, we're ready to play. And I've noticed that it's actually helped me a lot seeing my friends get up there and speak, and giving them a platform, because I'm good at booking the shows and stuff, has been like a really magical. I didn't expect it to be healing for myself. I thought it would be like, I'll heal when I go up there and play my songs and talk. But it's been more healing listening to my friends who really struggle as well, and they realize there's not much difference. We're all trying our best just to be human. And it was an amazing feeling. The radio show itself started out on Mad Wasp Radio. It was an amazing feeling to be on there. I mean, getting aired in England and living in the States was whoa. So that was really cool. And then we moved over to Core Radio and Soul of Indie Radio. And there's talks of where we're thinking about going back to Core pretty soon. I just have to get into therapy and really work out some things to make sure I'm consistent, because I'd like to have the show up. There's a team that runs the show: Matthew Graham, David Scaff, and Ivan Aguar, who really make this shine. I'm just a host. I'm just a guy that loves putting this stuff together, but they really make me able to do my show, because I have passion. I have these things, but I don't have the means to do everything. I've learned that at a young age, that you can't do everything, because it'll crush you.
Yep, you'll get burned out. And I thought I could. Yep.
Oh, big time. And I've realized I just went through that because I was trying to go to school for music therapy, and then I realized it was too much for me, and doesn't mean it isn't for anybody else, but you're not anybody else. You're yourself.
Right.
And I learned that. And I realized what I was doing is, people have always joked to me, well, you got 17 hats going on, but I really sat down and took that as it's not a diss. It's like, how do you do it? and we're looking up to you and like, congrats. Where in the past I used to be like, well, yeah, I'm just doing what I can, man. Leave me alone.
Right.
But
right.
now I'm really opened up to realizing that they're looking out for me. They're like, you're going to burn out bad. And we don't want to see that because you're very talented if you just pick one or two things.
Right.
So I'm kind of scaling back, realizing what I want in my life, which is it's okay if it's not paid right away. I'm willing to work at a bowling alley if I can get my show going. You know, like it's, I really care about my show with Unlikely Places. I care about the community that we've built because we play local artists. And now with the ISSA stuff, I'm more than happy to play some of those artists. And we chart. Like, we'll be charting with the Radio Indie Alliance charts because it's KOR is the guy that runs those charts, runs that station. Mark Platt's a great guy. So he told me 2 months and I have a deadline there. So I think we're going to do it. I don't see why we wouldn't. It's a really good point. And then I just got to look for a job for myself, in the meantime, just to fund what I'm doing. I don't think it's the end all. I love how people are like, oh, it's just a hobby. It's a hobby to you, then I don't even want to talk to you.
Right.
It's not a hobby to me. It's something I really, really care about.
It's your passion, right?
Exactly. And I think the way we look at life is if you could do your passion your whole life, why wouldn't you?
Right.
Even if it's hard and you have to. I don't see any other way. I really don't. I've tried.
Exactly.
I wish I was normal.
You mentioned mental health a few moments ago.
Yes.
Can you share any insights to the role of mental health and emotional health in the music industry? And how do you prioritize self-care and wellness as a musician?
It's getting better. I'm noticing in the industry. It used to be, if you asked me this a year ago, I'd be like, there's nothing. Nobody's helping anybody. I'm really seeing a change. And I heard that through the grapevine that they're starting to do like a Grammy thing. I think it was from Lady, the musician Lady there, from the ISSA group, that they're starting to do like a thing for folks with autism, with different mental illnesses in the Grammys, which would be amazing. And I'm all for it. It's like, if I could join the Recording Academy, that's where I'm going. I want to help with that. But I am just fascinated in learning that like more people are like me in the music business than I thought, because we're all here for a reason. We all got something going on. That's why we write, or why we do radio, or why we do things that are different from the norm, is because we see something different, and that's not the greatest way to put it, but it's kind of the only way I can explain it. But for me, at least with me with my music is me. My book is me. Journey to Starlights, those characters that are in that book, it's a fantasy book, but they're all a part of me. Each character is a representation of something I've been through and like had to deal with and had to like get through. So each character's arc in the book, like that's me. And for me, it was hard. I didn't have a lot of friends growing up because I was always the misunderstood one, which a lot of musician stories are the same, but it's true. There's a reason, I guess, why, none of us know why, but we're searching for it, For me, it was hard making friends growing up. I moved a lot and just like didn't get used to one spot, had a lot of, traumatic stuff go on. And I'm very thankful for my parents for getting us through that, of course, and stuff like that. But it takes a toll. Then mental health happens. I was diagnosed at a young age, so I really had time to work with it. But I also had, at a young age, you go through your regular stages. During my hormone stages, like a teenager, I had to fight not just that, but a diagnosis I didn't agree with.
Right.
As I've gotten older, I understand why. I see why I didn't agree with it, and I understand that I do have it. And now I'm starting to learn how to work with it, which is hard. I lose jobs because I'm very prideful, but I also realize that there is a time and a place, and it's hard for me because I don't just battle a normal situation. I battle a hit situation that's silent in my head telling me I'm a piece of crap daily, because bipolar is rough.
Right.
But I work through it. I have my methods. The biggest thing is therapy is the most important thing for anyone. I was so for it, always for it. The meds, on the other hand, I was always kind of iffy with. As I've gotten older, they've helped me personally, but it's not the same for everybody. Everybody's different. When you're putting medication in your body, it's, definitely you have to talk to a doctor. You have to figure this out. And it's not a one-shot deal. It's not, oh, we found it, cure, boom, done. These illnesses are not to be cured. There is no cure.
Right.
It's what makes you you. So I've always had a problem explaining that to people. That's why we started the advocacy group, because a lot of folks still to this day do not get it, and it's okay. It's okay, but at the same time, don't tell somebody that has something wrong with them that the answer is something if you're not knowing what they're going through.
Exactly.
I've always been listen, conversation always, because you can't tell a person who doesn't understand how to understand if they physically can't. And it's not going to change just because you scream at them to change.
Right.
And it's a misunderstanding, and for sure. And it does affect my music. It affects why I write the way I do. It affects why I wrote my book, because again, it's a fantasy world, because writing a autobiography at 26 just seems a little too crazy, because I have a really good story and I probably will write one, but I'd rather write one when I'm like 40, not 26. I want to see what else, because if I write one, autobiographies to me seem like it's the end of your time. You're trying to tell your story, and I'm just like, I don't want to be the end of my time. I'm 26 years old. It's not the end. It's only the beginning. So that's where we're kind of at. So I wrote a fantasy series instead, and the first book is actually done, and I'm blown away because it's been a lot this year. 2 surgeries, school not being what I needed, and I don't know, just a really big pivot right now. And
it's a lot, right?
It is. It's too much.
It's a lot. And I noticed that you posted on Facebook that you finished writing the book. Have you found a publisher yet? And
not yet. We are looking. I have a good friend and an old a professor of mine from my first college that I did graduate and got my associates from. He's a great guy, Stephen Parlato. He's a great book series. I'm fascinated with his writing. I became a fan and a friend, and he was my teacher, which was amazing. I wrote to him saying, hey, I finished my book, and he said, welcome to the club. And he goes, you already paid your dues. I know your story. He goes, you're good. And he goes, he gave me like how to try to find a publisher and be prepared for rejection, which I'm ready for. I've been rejected in a lot of things. I think I have the skin for it now. I'm just going to have to keep looking. I was good. There's that, or there's Amazon where you can self-publish.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Book on demand. And I'm thinking that might not be a bad idea for the first book either. But I would like to try to get some, try for the publishers first. And if we get rejected a bunch of times, I'll self-publish. I have no problem with that. But I'd rather try first, because in case you do get picked up, they take like 15%, but your book is everywhere. Barnes and Noble's everywhere. Right. And I'm okay with that. It's my music's the one where I've been really self-publishing because I care about the book. I care about, but I'm okay if I were to take a risk in that pipeline, because it's a little different. But it'd be awesome to get a publisher for sure. But I'm okay with self-releasing too, because I know it'll be my full book the way I intended. So there's always that risk there too. But I'm gonna give it a shot. My band and I just had a meeting last night. We had dinner. It's just me and a drummer. We're a duo. So when I say my band and I, it's just me and this other guy, Colin. We're called Chasing Nothing. We got our first single, and Fernando Perdomo just picked us up to produce. So we're like, because he's been a lead guitarist for me, and he's good friends with Michael. So I thought, hey, why don't have him produce our band, and I stay with Michael, so they're both getting, their promotion, their producer credits too. Nice. So we actually worked a deal out with Fern, and I'm hoping that maybe the drummer says, hey, yes, let's go to LA and do it, because I would love the adventure. But I'm okay. I have a studio at home too, so. I'm a little in-room studio, so I could get us enough bare bone tracks to get it to Fern, and he can do whatever he needs to. But fingers crossed. So there's a lot of avenues that have opened up. And when I thought everything was at the end, but it's still a blow sometimes, even when you think you literally look at the big picture and it's like, oh, it's not that bad. But when you're going through it, your world becomes the problem, and it's like, oh shoot, but one day at a time, Things will work themselves out, I always say. Yeah. It's a smart thing. I like that.
Yeah, they always seem to work themselves out eventually.
Well, they have to, or at least we wouldn't be here, right?
Right. You just got to be patient.
Yeah, there's always exactly. Which I'm terrible at. That's why I'm a musician. I'm not patient. I'm the front man on a stage, yelling to fans and a diva at heart, Yeah.
So do you have a website or social media you'd like to promote?
Yeah, everything can be found. I'm going to try to I've been getting a lot of feedback that it's hard to find the things that people are looking for because it's just so much on the website. But we're going to try to scale it back because I do listen to feedback and want to make sure it's easy to find my stuff. But everything can be found with patience at jedmondpresents.com.
Nice.
So that's a Bandzoogle site. I love those guys. They're incredible. It's sites for musicians, and they do everything you need. Sell a store on there. You can sell your merch. It's amazing. So we're building that website as we go, but that is the site. And if there's even a part of the site where you can go through the whole Jeb catalog and see my 60 plus releases all organized. So it's pretty cool. So we've been working on that for about a year now.
Awesome. And all your social links are on there as well? Yes.
Yep. So biggest thing, I always tell everybody, Instagram is the best way to find me because I'm trying to build. Because brands look for the Instagram being big in follows. I'm about to hit 1,001.2K, about to hit 1,200.
Nice.
Really excited for that. Feels really good. It feels like an accomplishment there. Big time, and I'm thankful for all the followers. It's J Edmond Presents on Instagram there, and it encapsulates everything. And then on my bio, you can find the links to like the radio show and my book because they have separate Instagrams as well. So that it make it a little easier for everybody. J Edmond Presents, and you can find everything there. So
awesome. Is there anything you'd like to mention that we didn't talk about today?
Covered everything, but definitely the book is the biggest thing I think we're going for now. We are going to release a soundtrack. Roger Joseph Manning Jr. of Beck and Jellyfish is going to be on that soundtrack with one of his songs previously released, trying to get some other bigger names on there. And, I got some of my projects on there. And Jeb and the Riots is actually back because of this, which is my old band, because we're doing a brand new song. There's going to be a few brand new tracks from me. Tie Back Beginnings is the main track in the book. We're finishing it up, and Kara Page is actually going to be on the ISSA Gold winner, is going to be on singing, backing vocals for it. I'm working with her on that. And she's got she's a Grammy U member, so very excited for that. And we're trying to get Chains Over Razors on there on the soundtrack, but I got to contact their record label. So a lot of fun learning new things, how to write emails to record labels.
Nice. It sounds like you got a lot going on.
Yeah. It's I don't think I ever slow down. And I don't think I want to, because when it's quiet, I have a hard time functioning. So I like to keep it busy. But I do realize that I've learned now with everything going on, sometimes that 18th hat isn't good. Sometimes 17 hats are okay, and exaggerating. But I'm trying to just get my priorities straight at the moment. My room is a mess with all the paperwork and, affirmations and success principles, worksheets, and trying to figure it all out. But I'm honored to be alive and to be at this and what I do, and honored to have the fans and radio shows such as yourself to be able to share these stories with, which is amazing.
Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show, Jeremy. It's awesome chatting with you. I think you're a very talented young man, and
thank you.
You're welcome. And I look forward to reading that book when it comes out and hearing more great stuff from you.
We'll send you a copy too. Yeah. And it would be great to send you a copy, and we'll send you the soundtrack too. That'd be awesome.
Awesome. So anytime you got something you want to promote, my friend, you're more than welcome to come back on the show. All right.
That'd be great.
All right. Well, you take care and enjoy the rest of your day. All right.
Thank you so much.
All right. You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Talk soon. Bye.
Right. I just want to give a shout out to Jeremy for dropping in today and sharing his music and stories. But before we wrap things up, let's listen to another one of his tracks. This one's called Someway.
Scared of sickness in this town, though the leaves are falling on the ground. All this isolation around, but we're all related. Get your head in where you're hiding. We'll make it through by the end of the day. Fine, we'll figure it out some way, some way, some way, some way, some way. We'll all pay our dues by the end of the day. Fine, we'll figure it out some way, some way, some way, some way, some way. Space is more than an illusion. No, Venus ain't far. Mars is here to stay in. Well, as we share our heads, make sense of these beds that we're laying in. What you're laying in, we'll all make it through by the end of the day. Fine, we'll figure it out some way, some way, some your skill. Get up that ladder. We'll all make it through by the end of the day. Fine, we'll figure it out some way. Some way. Some way. Some way. Some way. We'll all pay our dues by the end of the day. Fine, we'll figure it out some way. Some way. Some way. Some way. Some way. Find your way someday again. Find your way someday again. Find your day some way.
The Record Machine Show is a weekly radio podcast produced by Jimmy Hall Productions. All rights reserved. For information regarding distribution or adding this podcast to your website, please visit our contact page at therecordmachineshow.com to submit your request. Thanks for listening. See you next time on The Record Machine Show.
The Record Machine Show.